Alright, so we're going to walk through a couple of things you're going to find useful in Paint.net. Unfortunately, right here and on my screen, there's a layers window, which is really important. That's going to be really helpful. Unfortunately, for some reason, it's not appearing in my OBS, so the screen capture is not getting it. But I'll kind of walk you through, and if you need some help with that, also not a problem. If you don't have a layers menu somewhere on your screen, I put my tools and whatnot over on this side. But you know, it may very well, they pop up over on this side, or who knows, it's just, I don't know how it originally opens up. So anyway, if you don't have a little window somewhere on your screen in here called layers, you can just go up here to this icon, and that's going to either show or hide the layers dialog. So first thing you're going to do, well, what I'll show you here, you can adapt this to your own project, but what we're going to essentially do is take this pair of sunglasses and illustrate how the lenses are in fact transparent by pasting it on top of an image of my house. First thing we're going to do, though, to show you a little tool here is we're going to remove all this white space that you can see around these sunglasses, because obviously if you paste that in, kind of looks like garbage. We don't want that. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to use the, what's this called here? What should it tell me? Little magic wand type thing. And essentially, if you use a magic wand, you click on a color, it's going to automatically select all of the colors that are similar to the color that you clicked originally. Obviously, you can see here it's grabbing a little bit of the sunglasses, which we really don't want, and you can adjust how much tolerance the magic wand has by sliding this slider. And as you see, as I do that, it's going to select a little more or a little less of the sunglasses, and I want a lot less, so I'm just going to leave it at about 20% tolerance. Once you have everything selected that you want, you can just hit delete, and it's essentially now removed all the white space. The gray and white checkers, that's just the transparent background, so that's always going to be there. There's no way to get rid of that, but it will never render once you save the file. So now what we're going to do, we're going to use Control-A to select all, Control-C to copy, and we'll go back over to the picture of my house and paste it with your standard Control-V. But as you can see, it still doesn't paste in correctly, and this is where layers become really helpful. So what we're going to do is create a new layer. There's a really easy way to do this in this layers window that for some reason is not capturing, so I'll use the menu drop down instead. You're going to go to the layers menu and then click add new layer. Now there's an empty layer here that you can't see. All new layers start out transparent, so when I paste in the image of the sunglasses, when I have the transparent layer selected, all the other transparent stuff also appears completely transparent, which obviously makes it look a lot better. Not perfect, but this is just an example little project. So what we're going to do now is we're going to use the magic wand tool again. I'm just going to use the escape key to get rid of the selected area. Use the magic wand, this time on the lens, so you can see it selected all the lens, kind of missing some of the garbage over here, so maybe bump it up to 25% tolerance. That'll be fine. So now what we're going to do is we're actually going to take this lens and put it in its own layer, because layers can have transparency applied to them, but little sub-selections of a layer cannot. So transparency is all layer specific in Paint.net. That might not be the way it is in Photoshop and other similar software, but this is how you got to do it. So select what you want to show as, to add some transparency to it. And you can either use Control-X to cut, or you can just do Edit, Cut. These are all kind of standard Windows shortcuts I'm sure I don't actually have to explain. So now we've removed this lens. And now what we're going to do, once again, take another layer, add another new layer. Once again, it's transparent, and we're going to paste the lens back into place. If you don't change, like if you don't zoom or if you don't pan or anything like that, if you cut and then immediately paste into a new layer, it's going to paste it right where you cut it from the previous layer. So you can see here it's a perfect match. It's not looking weird at all. So now what we're going to do, it's a lot easier just to do it in the layers window, which is right over here, but of course my capture software is being really strange for some reason. Now you can't even see my tools that are over here, but whatever. So essentially what we're going to do is go to the layers menu again, and then down to layer properties. Now you can see there's a new dialog, and then there's an opacity setting. The opacity is from 0 to 255, which is 256 options. It's a 256, it's a multiple, an exponential of 2, obviously kind of builds into the whole computer lingo thing. 256 is a very common value you find in a lot of software. Basically, the higher the number, the more opaque the image is. So at 255, that's total opacity. As you can see, as I slide the slider down, that lens that we put into its own layer becomes more or less transparent. So what you'll do in your application is kind of how things might look, how transparent your blinds really are. So you'll just use this slider to find the appropriate level of transparency. So we might just do it something like this, round it up to 190 just for good measure, and you just click OK. And this would kind of be your final example. There you go. This is kind of how it'll look through your sunglasses, or you're in your own application. Totally opaque versus here, sort of how it might look with more of the sheer fabric on the product. So anyway, hope you found this super quick tutorial helpful. I really wish you could kind of see all the menus I have over here. Paint.net might just be a little bit weird. It's messing with my screen capture software. But anyway, once again, if you need any help, do text me and we'll walk through it. Good luck.